So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our first featured reader tonight, the great, the beautiful, the Cleveland, Rita Grabowski. Give her a hand.
We got inspiration walking up to the mic.
Yeah, pass me one.
Spontaneity.
Well, yes. I bleed Lake Erie. I've lived here my whole life, lived on the west side of Cleveland my whole life. Lived in Tremont since 1977 when there was no reason at all to be here. I was here. Okay? My husband and I ran a little restaurant called Miracles, which is where Sage is now, right around the corner. So we have roots. I have roots in this neighborhood. And if Cleveland is tough, Tremont is tougher.
Hell yeah.
I know that. And in fact, let me hear an amen. Hallelujah. All right, I didn't bring my hallelujah poem, I'm sorry. Anyway, the poem that I wanted to start with tonight kind of pays homage to this place. One of the last times I was here, before there was poetry, there was a public access television thing going on, and people from around the neighborhood would get invited to come down and do silly things, and it would be filmed and it would be broadcast, and everybody turn your ringers off, okay? My husband was on this program with our Manx cat, and a Manx cat is a cat that has back legs like a bunny rabbit and no tail. So yeah, they're adorable, mean but adorable. So anyway, the whole gig was, does the cat eat potato pancakes, which is what the restaurant was famous for. And it's like, no, the cat does not eat potato pancakes. It was basically that and close-up shots of the cat's rear end with no tail. And the cat was a really good sport about it. So to honor Balto, who has since been traumatized by a dog moving into the house, okay, we have an unsolicited editorial comment by Balto, the cat. I hate them all, but this one is the worst. In the barrel-chested flesh with his bacon-scented breath. I hate everything about this dog. His glassy, bulbous button eyes, his jowly grin and yellowed canines. I hate his woof and whimper, his plumed tail wag and wiggle, the tap and scamper of his nails on the tile floor. I hate the way he lowers himself like a blimp crashing to the ground. I hate the schlup he makes at his water bowl, the way he bolts awake when he hears a door open. All this is bad enough. But when he enters, others follow. The brindle hound with the pit bull jaw who'd pace like he pulled a sulky. That Rottweiler Malamute mix with the overbite and the fat ass. The white spitz who'd snap hornets into his mouth and eat them like they were capers. And that crazy Keishan who carried on like the apocalypse every time he saw a bicycle. That gang is a few of the things I see that humans can't. The reason I open the only door I can, dancing a backwards bunny hop, my front claws hooking the edge of the top of the door to the kitchen cabinet next to the sink. In the quiet dark behind the cast iron skillets, I nearly forget this live one's stink and all the aggravating ether of all those ghost dogs. Walter sees dead dogs. So, okay. And this is the only homage I'm going to pay to the restaurant. Over the years, I've written a few poems about the restaurant. This was always my husband's favorite. So, it's called Cracking. For those of you who are Clevelanders, you might know about Harbor Light, which is a big detox place run by the Salvation Army near downtown. For those of you who have worked in a kitchen, you might know what a China cap is. It's a giant colander funnel thing. So, okay, I guess that's enough. Cracking. 15 dozen eggs in a case of large loose eggs, divided, 30 per flat. His job, to crack 2 cases. Saturday night for the restaurant's Sunday brunch. This week, the first time in a while, back after a short stint in detox at Harbor Light. There is a rhythm that's set up using only one hand. Crack against stainless steel. Plash into the china cap strainer. Toss the empty eggshells into the trash. A sound more delicate than the breaking of Dresden. An egg for nearly every day of the year, piano whisked through the holes of the pointed cone of the china cap. The goal, to go straight home later, the $20 bill staying folded for gas money, and not used to fuel the copper filament the chore girl crumbled and stuffed into the pipe bowl, the rock sizzling, exploding a brief, irregular heartbeat. I had to convince Nick that I don't really know much of anything about golf. At least I never played golf. I am a big Cleveland sports fan, and several years ago when Tiger Woods played in Akron for the first time, Northern Ohio Live called me up and said, "You know anybody who's written a poem about golf?" And I thought, wait a minute, poets? Golf? I don't think so. So I wrote one. So this is and yeah. So well, when Tiger came back to Akron this year and almost didn't win, it reminded me of this poem. So I don't play, but I like the layout: fairway, green, rough, curve, and break. I like the range of grass from tangle to velvet, the metaphorical obstacles, sand traps, and water, the yin and yang of putt and drive. I like the equipment, irons and wedges and woods, Titleist and tight lies, cadmium shafts and titanium heads, annealing exotic metals to enlarge the elusive sweet spot. I like Tiger. Like him on cereal boxes and selling Buicks. Like his smile, straight and white as a Steinway's octaves. I like the youngsters who like him enough to smack balls by the bucket. I like the polite hush of the gallery, the collective holding of breaths, the shared exhale of disappointment or of cheers and applause. The subtle ripple and rumble you hear sometimes when the rubbery dimpled ball twirls around the rim of the cup like water swirling down a drain, and then that little happy bouncing noise as it settles down into the hole. Am I coming across okay on this thing? I never know if I'm like,
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I'm never sure, but yeah, you're all the way in there.
It was a hole in one.
Yes, it was. You should know.
I am not proud to say that I watch way too much TV. I am absolutely television addicted. And when I was invited to do this gig, I had to check my calendar to make sure that it was a Thursday night and not a Wednesday night, because Wednesday night is when Project Runway is on. And last night is the first time
I feel so much better now.
Last night is the first time I missed Project Runway in a really long time, so I'm like Project Runway Jonesing, but I know kind of what happened because like at 5 minutes to 2 o'clock this morning, I caught like the last 6 minutes, so I know who's out. Well, they rerun it all weekend out there, but I know what happened. So, but anyway,
Videotape these things.
yes, I know. Anyway, so I was kind of inspired to write a little something about that. So this is Project Runway and me. This reality TV, slippery, addictive, little sips like through a straw, then suddenly you're sucked in to see so many ways to be judgmental. Watching creative people, the flamboyancy, the drama, when their vision fails. I groan my own aesthetics, second-guessing, judging the judges. Some of the models looking human, towering gaunt, with bony joints like lumps of fists at shoulders and knees. Even Heidi Klum scares me, enunciating, you're in or you're out. Cutthroat as, you're fired. Even Auf Wiedersehen and those air kisses aimed towards each cheek. Creepy. 8 months pregnant, Heidi sounds more dominatrix than Madonna. How, I wonder, can anyone's arms and legs be that long? There is no lengthy, lean line to my femur to show off above stiletto-heeled patent boots. Mine just hang, no longer the necessary between pelvis and knee. I know Heidi's flesh lies on humerus, on ulna and radius, same as mine, but her arms flow, an NBA wingspan, ballerina graceful. Mine look like linked breakfast sausages, shortened and plumped after rolling around, sizzling across the griddle. This is the newest poem. I don't usually read really new stuff, but it got edited a lot because it was for a class project. So, Jack, I'm sorry you've heard this. If anybody else that I can't see is in my class that met last night, you've heard it too. I'm sorry. But the assignment was to imitate or to write in the style of one of the poets that we're studying. So this is my attempt at doing that. And it's a poem in 4 parts. And because nobody told Mary Oliver that you're only allowed 6 exclamation points in your whole life. Nobody told her that. She uses a few, yeah. So I actually allowed myself one of my lifetime ration is in this book.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Pardon me?
She's got a pile of higher and deeper, doesn't she?
She's got a very high and deep pile. Okay, so this is 4 Augusts. 1. The freeway slices the neighborhood and curves along the cemetery. I speed past. The blank backs of garages and fences face me. Though occasionally, in August, deep green cascaded with coral blurs by. A surprise. 2. The sprout starts as a single shoot, unrecognized, innocent, at the foot of the stairs. 3. Next year, a woody frame grows, gnarled, finger-thick, beneath spreading, saw-toothed leaflets. The undersides of stems shelter tiny, gripping rootlets. Slender tendrils reach above, curl upward, soft green coils around railings. 4. This year's leaves unfurl into air above the stairs. Here, among fresh green, cluster trumpets. In August, they glow electric hot red-orange, a color that tempers the yolk gold of mango with the sugary heart of watermelon. Heavy, bees zoom and drone. Hovering, hummingbirds sip from the fluted lip of each trumpet's elegant throat. That's homage to the trumpet vine that's taken over my stairway. The next poem, hopefully, is going to be in the style of someone who's much darker, and I'm going to talk about the hideous seed pods and things. And the third poet,
smoking that stuff?
Bring it by.
it's kind of scary because it's also called cow itch vine.
Don't smoke that.
It kind of creeps me out. So anyway, but anyway, the third, I'm going to try to do a series of these, and the third poet has written a book about Barbie. It's Denise Duhamel, and she does satire, and that's where I'm going to have the trumpet vine taking a fearless and moral inventory of itself. So we'll see how that goes. As well it should. Okay. Now I thought about closing with this. Yeah, that should work. I think I'm going to close with this. This is kind of in honor of George, wherever he is. There he is, George. Because one of George's book, I think this is the one that Billy Collin liked, The Good Kiss, right? Or is that another one? Yeah. George has a book that won a big prize, and it's called The Good Kiss. Well, George was lucky because this is a poem about my first kiss. I wasn't as lucky. So. First kiss.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't Jack. It wasn't my husband either. So. First
Was
kiss.
it me? I was drinking.
No, I don't think so. Well, you know, if you were there at the time, who knows? Okay. First kiss.
Timing's everything.
Timing's everything. June 1965, when the 60s actually started. The world imploding, falling in on itself like a ruined souffle, folded and changed into something harder. Me, that year, in June, not quite 13, edging my own seismic fault. A weekend with two Pams, the coolest girls in my junior high, at one of the Pam's family's summer home on Put-in-Bay. This, totally the best thing ever. Since the phone call a few weeks earlier, me removed from study hall, escorted to the office, hearing my mother sobbing over the phone. My stepfather, considerate enough to be dead. Him driving with his best friend into the single roadside sycamore somewhere near Sandusky. The grill of his Chevy 2 embedded several inches into its trunk. Pam's dad picked me up, driving his 65 block-long deuce and a quarter, air-conditioned with push-button everything, to Port Clinton, onto the Miller Line, me at the bow, eerie, churning and bubbling up like carbonated crystal. That evening, Pam and me at the roundhouse, its tarred, curved dome above us, lake breeze stirring the humidity, the way we swirled our Cokes with our straws, all of us sliding onto the vinyl curved around the round table, alternating Guy, Pam, Guy, Pam, Guy, me. Guys, all collegiate looking, Madras shirts with button-down collars and fairy loops above the pleats and back, penny loafers, denim cutoffs. The Pams in nearly matching penny loafers, cutoffs, and sleeveless shells. Me in a short-sleeved A-line dress that looked like denim, but faux, a polyester blend. Blue and white seersucker trim piping the sleeves and the V-neck. At the base of the V, a bow trailed all the way to the hem. Also, me in a panty girdle and nylon stockings, scuffed up canvas shoes. Me, clueless. And when guy number 3 slides his arm around my shoulder and slops his tongue past my lips, past my teeth, I'm not sure what I hate more. The way he smells like the boiled bone of a ham shank, or that damn dress. host with the most come back up for the second